address one of the questions that I recently received from one of my viewers. And here's the question. Hi, Janet. I recently received some feedback that I'd like to get your thoughts on. The feedback was that in order to be more effective in my current leadership role, I need to learn how to own the room more. I've heard this from both my boss and several others who have my best career interests in mind. I'm not a boisterous or overly outgoing person, and I am often uncomfortable in settings with more than a few people. Do you have any tips on how I would go about this owning the room more? I love your videos, by the way, and appreciate your insights. Thanks for sending this question, as I'm sure many of you watching this video also struggle with this same issue of owning the room. We all know people who seem to take up all the space in a room in a negative way and give off the vibe of disinterest of anything other than themselves. That's one connotation of what we think about when we think of owning the room. Yet there's another connotation of owning the room that we admire. It's someone who feels comfortable, confident, and grounded in his or her own skin, and he or she puts others at ease, is natural and conversational, and raises the level of positive energy in the room for all those who are present. Let me give you an example of this type of energy. I used to attend a weightlifting workout class at a gym, and I would go to different locations and attend this class, and I've had many different instructors over the years at all different locations. Now, what's striking is how differently each one of these instructors handled the room. So as I think about this, I can't help but notice the one person who would constantly apologize and point out every mistake that he made in front of the room. So he would be pointing out, oops, that was wrong. Oops, I was off tempo. And he'd repeat it after every misstep and always looked flustered and uncomfortable when he did it, which made everybody else feel uncomfortable and feel as if something was off in the class. And then there's the other instructor that walks in, looks really, really, really hurried and distracted, turns on the music, and just seems not to be in the motion or in the movements, but seems to be in a whole other place, making everybody feel a little bit off-centered. And then, of course, there's the person who tries to engage and wants to engage with a group, but their body language is timid, right? They seem very uncomfortable. They seem hesitant. They seem embarrassed. And their voice is soft and almost whispers. So everybody else starts to feel a little bit uncomfortable and unsure of how to interact. I want to contrast that to one time I went to a whole different time slot, and there was an instructor in the room that I had never had before who was leading the class. He walked into the room knowing that people were waiting for him, and he knew that he was the leader. And as the leader, they were waiting for him to make the first move. He was totally present. He acknowledged each participant, and he wasn't focused on himself. And he wasn't focused on how he was feeling, or at least it didn't appear to be that way. He was absolutely engaged with everyone. He smiled, he made eye contact, and he demonstrated an upbeat, contagious energy that actually transformed the energy in the entire room. He was confident. He self-assuredly shouted out super motivating comments, and you could just feel how much he loved what he was doing. He was having fun, and he was bringing you in to have fun as well. If he did make a mistake, he didn't dwell on it. His role as the leader was to set the tone, engage everyone, and have everyone participate fully. He owned the room, and the experience was totally different than any of the other classes I had been to. Same content, same moves, same workout. He owned the room. I'd ask these questions of yourself every time you walk into a room. What is my bigger contribution as a leader here? How can I contribute that fully? What do I want others to feel? What is needed here? And that's the most important question. What is needed here? Owning the room is not about being arrogant or about being full of yourself. Owning the room is about using your own presence to create a space of positive energy for others to engage in fully. So go own the room. Thanks for watching. And always remember this. Every single moment as a leader, you have a choice in what you say, what you do, and how you make others feel. Pause and make those choices wisely and intentionally, because every single moment, those choices are who you become.